Alright, we're back with a Game 3 versus KevinJayHawk. We're going second this time. What do we got going on here? Looks like an egg-heavy second 3/4. Waxwing is good, but kind of a clunky start. So they're going first. Do they grab the Grosbeak? The Bittern isn't a great card drawing card, but it's what's available. Might have to bank on the little Bittern. I don't expect they'll take that, but maybe they will. Grosbeak is probably best forest bird I have access to right now. Waxwing and the Chaffinch are good mid to late game birds. Bit of Culturalist. I think that kind of makes our decision for us. What's in the bird feeder? Plenty of diversity. Brown powers for round 1. Cupness in round 4. That Bittern is there. I'm probably going to grab it. I've had good success with the Shrike in the past, but I might actually draw. God, I could use both those cards. But we'll roll with this. Eastern Phoebe in the grassland, so they're going to help us out with some worms. That's pretty great. I think I'm actually going to take the Grosbeak here. Does line up with Viticulturalist. Savvies. Do they grab that? I bet they do. That's the wetland bird I was looking for. But then they hand us some cards that'll help out. They did take it. So let's play our Grosbeak. And they get that Savvies down to hand us a couple cards and pray for a miracle. So they laid eggs and handed out a worm. That's pretty great. Let us also gain cards, or gain food rather. Then we'll grab the wheat. Common Chiff-Chaff. That looks like a bad situation for us. So they got Savvies to back up that Chiff-Chaff, but I don't know, they're gonna have to ignore the round goals. Let's actually grab the Bittern here because that's our best wetland option. Bush Tit flips up. I mean, yeah. Not really anything to say about that, I guess. It's just this game is meant to go to Kevin, I guess. So they laid eggs and they didn't grab the Bush Tit. So I will grab the Bush Tit. Spotted Towhee. That's actually probably going to be pretty good for us in the grasslands, but I really can't. It does line up with Viticulturalist as well. I really can't sit and spend too many turns drawing single cards, and they play Northern Mockingbird. So they're going to be able to, they're going to play that Savvies and they're going to repeat it. They have plenty of cards to tuck under the Chiff-Chaff. Silver Lining, they're going to be handing us a bunch of cards too. So they've got 3 brown powers. Boy, I don't know here. Got 3 activations left. I could gain the fish for the Bittern, play the Bittern, and then draw the Towhee. Then the Bittern would give us the Shrike. I don't know how much we want the Shrike. And the question is, do they deny the Toei? It's our second. Toei would be our third viticulturalist bird. I think it's worth it to just grab the Toei here. And thankfully nothing amazing flips up. Alright, so we get a worm. His next play is probably going to be the Savvies. So we need to desperately close the gap here. Play our spotted Toei. And we'll use a wheat to pay for it. We'll make the wheat back up. So there's the Savvies as expected. There's nothing we can do about this round goal. So I think I'm going to lay eggs here. And we'll get the wheat. And I think I might play the bush tit in the wetlands. And there's nothing amazing in the tray to save us from this impending destruction. I'm gonna make sure to stay focused here, not get too demoralized, keep my head in the game. Alright, so we got plenty of food. We need a ground nest. Bush tit is that. Looks like we may have, in hindsight, wasted a turn drawing this bittern, but there's no way for us to have known that. You've got plenty of card-consuming birds here. Chaffinch and the waxwing kind of compete against each other for cards, but we get food off the waxwing. Bird feeder is kind of borked right now. We could grab the fish for our bittern. It's a platform nest. It doesn't help us out with our bonus card or the round goals. So let's just drop the bush tit in the wetlands. Alright, free mercy card. That's a good bomb. Another mercy card. Canada Goose. That actually pairs really well with the Toei. So I'm looking at the bittern here. Could grab the fish, play it in the wetlands to back up the bush tit, and any grassland bird we gain off it could be fed to the bush tit. But if we want to do this goose Toei engine, we're going to be living in our grasslands a lot more than our wetlands. But we're going to need to have cards to feed to the chaffinch and the waxwing. So we need to double up on wheat. I could discard the bittern to the bird feeder, get the reroll, and hopefully grab the second wheat for the goose. It is a ground nest. Let's do that. So we'll discard the bittern, get the wheat. We'll grab, could use either the fish or the rat for the wood stork. Let's take the fish, reroll. We could get the cherry for the waxwing, but I think we'll worry about the goose first. More cards, that's good. More cards. It's a good forest bird. So yeah, if you are not familiar with common chiff-chaff, it's one of these mass-tucking birds, and he's just drawing huge quantities of cards, repeating the warbler. Thankfully, it gives us a card as well, so every time he does that, we're gaining 2 cards, but then he's getting the best cards he can find, and he's tucking the worst ones for massive points. But he's going to end up ignoring his bonus card and the wrong goals as a consequence of that, so hopefully we get handed something amazing to try to counteract that. Let's throw down our goose. Might actually go grab that rat from the bird feeder in order to throw the wood stork down as our second wetland bird. And then we can draw cards, and that painted bunting is looking pretty good. Then we can capstone our grasslands with common chaffinch. Be fairly aggressive about drawing cards, but also any bad cards we get from our opponent's Savvy's Warbler can be converted into points here through our chaffinch. So it'll be Chiff Chaff versus Chaffinch in the end. Yes, so many cards. Gnatcatcher, he only did it once. That's probably smart. He doesn't want to keep handing me cards. He doesn't have any food. He hasn't been laying eggs or gaining food off the Phoebe to try to play his fourth wetland bird. He's seeing a lot of cards, but he's tucking them, so maybe he's not actually getting anything great. So we have to try to match his engine here. So let's discard for another food. Take wheat for the goose. Take the rat for our wood stork. Then we'll end up grabbing the cherry off the grosbeak. So he actually took the gain food action, took a single food, so he's probably going to drop Barn Swallow here. So that was a good inefficient action, that's good for us. So let's actually... Hopefully that's not a ground nest bird. Let's throw down our wood stork. And I want the cherry. Get rid of the worm. Then we'll lay eggs. Passerine. Both the waxwing and the chaffinch qualify. We will get to that 3 points. Don't know that we're going to see or play a lot of predators, or rodent-eating birds rather, which are commonly predators. But I think we might actually be able to make this Passerine specialist work. Laid eggs and gave us a worm. That's great. So 2 worms, that might be violet green swallow. So we could draw cards here to secure the bunting. That'd be a good late game play. And then we can lay eggs on our ground nests. I think we'll do that. And let's pray for miracles. Hobby's not it. Let's tuck the hobby for an egg. Fish crow, we could have used that. So he drew the fish crow. Red star, not going to help. Grabbing that fish crow might have been a deny. So let's lay our eggs. Win the round goal. Tuck on the goose. We need that desperately. American crow in the tray, so he's just going to scoop up all that stuff. Keep it out of our hands. But I think we're actually going to be fairly okay on food. There goes the crow. Cavity nest, we have 1. They also have 1. So they're going to play the cuckoo for eggs, so that's a good card for them. It's a very good card for them. The rich get richer. That's a consequence of just drawing so many cards. They're just You just expect them to see all the best cards. Honey Buzzard, Clark's Grebe. It is a Star Nest. So let's throw down this Waxwing. Alright, free worm. I think I'm going to need to get this Clark's Grebe down for the round goal. So we'll use 2 worms for that. So it looks like they're kind of pivoting into the grasslands here. Not sure I mind that too much. Might hold on to the Black Star just as a last-ditch viticulturalist bird. This is a cavity nest. So they laid eggs. Picked up a wheat off the crow, it looks like. They didn't bother with the Phoebe. We need... really use an extra wheat with a bunting. This buzzard might not be too bad. Let's lay some more eggs, get some more cherries. We still have only 1 cavity nest bird. But if I played this, that'd be a 0-point bird. 0-point play. Doesn't line up with my bonus cards. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tuck it. Get the cherry. Killdeer. That's overkill, I think. You know, maybe he wants to use the Killdeer instead of the Savvies and hand me a bunch of cards, but yeah, I don't know about that. Brown Nest. I don't know if that lines up with his bonus card or what, but alright, so what do we need to do here? Let's just keep laying eggs and accruing cherries. So he drew cards, activated his Savvy's Warbler 1 time. So the silver lining here is that the silver lining on top of the silver lining of him repeating his Savvy's Warbler a bunch of times is that he's not able to stack up a lot of other tucking birds in this wetlands. Otherwise that would just be game over. But that cuckoo is really coming in clutch for him. So now it's a cup nest. That'll be a good play later. Let's get rid of the honey buzzard. It skipped right past the wrong goal calculation. So it looks like I won that. Didn't he have a ground nest? Or a cavity nest bird? Oh, I have 2. I have 2 star nests. Duh. Alright, so we have white stork in the tray. It's round 4. I don't know how much that actually helps us. It's an 8-point bird. I would have to draw it. And and then have the food to play it. Play the Cerulean Warbler here. It's another cup nest bird. And power colors and habitat. So the painted bunting would actually get us another 2 points here. Or no, wait. No. Yeah, so we're getting 4 there. Take that. Another charioting bird would be really great. Eastern Imperial. Not surprised to see it with how many cards he's actually drawn. This Chaffinch is actually not going to amount to a whole lot for us here. It is another cup nest bird. It is another passerine bird. So I gotta think about this. I got 4 activations left. Really need to get painted bunting down and Chiff Chaff down. How many cup nests does he have? 3. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 currently. Could get. I'm gonna run out of fuel for my Waxwing here. So I might actually have to take the gain food action. Plenty of wheat in the bird feeder. So I think I'm going to do that. Wheat. Gotta be careful here. I actually need a worm for my painted bunting, so we'll take the worm back out of here, make sure we're doing it right. Worm, wheat. Take a wheat there. Free card. Another free card. So let's throw down European Robin would be our 4th viticulturalist bird. So that's 4 points there, 4 points there for 8. -1 is 7. It's a passerine bird. It would be our 6th. So that's another 3 points. So that's 10 points off the European Robin. And it is a cup nest bird to help us work toward the round goal. And our grasslands would get us 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So let's actually play the European Robin. I don't know if I miscalculated that. I thought it said I already had 5. I'm looking at my opponent's board here. 30 or less. Benelli. Top deck Benelli. Acorn Woodpecker. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Says we have 5. 30 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I thought the Robin would have made 6 here. So I miscalculated that. But it does line up with it does line up with Viticulturalist. So let's actually drop Benelli's here. So they're just ending their game with a ton of tucks. And doing the math here, it looks like the Robin was a wash. It was equal points. But it is an extra cup nest to help us with the round goal. So we'll make sure we'll lay all of our eggs on the appropriate nests. And we've got the free card to tuck under the waxwing. We've got a wheat to tuck on the goose. And we'll see what happens. Not really much to say about this game. It's going to have a lot of tucks, but we might have a chance here. I think we broke 100. We did. We're going to win the round goal. All those free cards really helped us out, quite frankly. Hopefully they helped us out more than they helped him. He's got a fairly bare bones board. He'll give it one more go with the draw card action. At least we got Benelli's. So we won that. We needed that desperately. And we'll see how it goes. I should have more bird points. Probably have more bonus card points. Did better on the round goals. I should have more eggs. And it's just a matter of whether he can come back on the tucked cards or not. I had a decent amount myself. Oh, wow, we managed to beat him. Wow, good game. Alright, I'm back with some post-commentary on this game. I just wanted to do a quick breakdown of everything that happened. I've watched the video back a couple times in editing. And I think in this situation, being respectful to my opponent, this is kind of one of those situations where it was his game to lose. And I kind of think that's what happened here. In hindsight, this Phoebe that he grabbed should have probably went into the wetlands to support this Chiff-Chaff. And then subsequently he missed the draw on the bush tip, which we were able to deny from him. But if he had managed to line up that Phoebe bush tip and Chiff-Chaff with the Mockingbird and the Savvy's Warbler, that just would have given him a stacked wetlands to really just click draw cards for the next 20 activations and win the game. The Cuckoo was a really good play for him. Passive egg generation with my strong grasslands development, but this Crow was kind of odd. Doesn't line up with his bonus card or the round goals, so I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Maybe pick up some extra food. And the Killdeer in the wetlands, I'm not really sure with these 53 tucked cards he had that he couldn't find a couple of better wetland bodies to stick here. Now, all in all, I think we had a pretty strong game, all things considering. I mean, a lot of that relied on him handing us a bunch of cards, the repeated Savvies. We did really well on our bonus cards, and if we look at the breakdown, we can see 14 points. Really, it was a 10-point difference. And the traditional weakness of a Chiff-Chaff is that they ignore their bonus card and the wrong goals, although he did fairly well on the wrong goals here. Thankfully, I didn't get hosed by this bugged Passerine specialist. When I was doing my initial calculations before the Robin, it was showing 5 birds, so I thought I was going to pick up the extra 3 points here, but once I played the Robin, it still remained at 5, and 5 is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But at the time, I didn't have the Robin down. It still said 5, so I'm not really sure at what point. Either Passerine is bugged or one of these other birds is counting when it shouldn't. And my original plan was to get down the Chaffinch and the Painted Bunting for an extra bonus card, some extra tucks. The Bunting would have counted. The Bunting and the Chaffinch would have counted for Passerines, who would have picked up those points there, and then just laid eggs, tucked a bunch of cards, and hopefully have gotten a good bonus card. But when we got fed the European Robin and the Benelli's Eagle in the last 3 turns or so. That really changed things up. I went back and did the math over the various scenarios, and this was the most points playing the Robin and the Benelli's, even without picking up the extra 3 from Passerine. So that worked out fairly well for us. Squeezed out a few more points at the end. So yeah, that was a very interesting game. It was very demoralizing playing against that, but it's a good example of just making sure to keep your head in the game and persevere through the end, because you never really know what's going to happen. So if you made it this far in the video and you like this type of detailed analysis at the end of the video, do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you could, also subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.